Hello and welcome to the Business Awards Show. It's Debbie Gilbert, the host of the Business Awards Show, and I'm also the owner of the Best Business Women Awards. And today I am delighted to be joined by Diane Watson from She Can Prosper, who was a sponsor of the Best Business Women Awards last year and has agreed to sign up again this year. She's also been a financial advisor for the last 30 years, so lots of experience and tips that she's going to share with us today. So welcome, Diane.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome, Debbie.
And you're up in Leeds, I know.
I'm up in frozen Leeds today, yes. It's a bit nippy up north, as they say.
So Diane, your story begins nearly 30 years ago. So tell us a little bit about your journey and your business experience.
So yes, 30 years ago, my children were going off to school, or my daughter was fully at school, my son not so much. And I was having to think about what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to go back to work, but maybe not in the guise I had before, which was spending a lot of time away from home, from the children, and being employed. And I took what at the time felt like a really crazy move to set up my own business, to become self-employed, which now seems like so many, particularly women. We know lots and lots of women are setting up their own businesses and working for themselves. But back then it was pretty unusual. But you know, after a few months of sorting myself out, I've had no regrets whatsoever in doing that.
You became a financial advisor with St James's Place.
Well, first of all, I ran my own IFA business for 5 years.
Right.
And then I was asked to join St James's Place in 1999, which I have been doing ever since. And, you know, I've employed a number of people to support me. I was quite clear about, I mean, back in those days, I was a female advisor, which was very unusual, and also had been a businesswoman myself. So I thought I would really aim and market myself at the female business market, you know, which I felt was really neglected actually at the time. And because I thought I'd got a lot in common with women who were working, you know, who had children, and that's kind of was the start of it all actually.
So a couple of years ago, you'd grown your practice to quite a substantial size, and you sold it on, but retained yourself working for them as an IFA, and you set up a new venture. So tell us a bit about that.
So I've always been really passionate about women understanding their own financial circumstances, and having done as much as I've done over the last 30 years, been really aware of mistakes that women have made, and circumstances that have been really misfortunate to women who haven't actually understood their own financial situation, whether that's they're not married, they don't understand what happens if things go wrong, their partner possibly dies without making a will, you know, they're just not savvy about their own financial well-being. And I'm really passionate about it because my mother, who is still alive, was so passionate about it for me, and about making sure that I was always financially independent and able to you know, to hold my own financially. And I just wanted to spread the message out there. You know, I wanted to inspire and educate women to say, yes, that could be me. I am that person who doesn't really understand. And we've been, I started a business in lockdown, and we had our first virtual event last November. Our first proper event last November, which was incredible, with some great feedback from women who we really got thinking about their own circumstances. And that's what it's all about.
So She Can Prosper is a movement, really, and it's a movement to support women, empower them with knowledge, empower them to feel like they can take control of their money themselves and actually really understand all of the aspects they need to know to secure their financial future, really.
That's exactly what it's all about. That's exactly my hope.
You've also done a lot of work for charity over the years, having had a chat with you about this. What's the driver behind that? You know, why are you so passionate about supporting charities?
I think it's about giving back. I feel like I've been very blessed in my life. I mean, I'm from a very humble background. And I think that's at times doesn't sit very comfortably with me, actually. And so it's my way of, you know, kind of harnessing what I've achieved to help other people. And I'm particularly passionate about children, about disadvantaged children. So that's one of the sort of themes of things I've done over the years with the Variety Club of Great Britain. I've also sat on a number of charity boards, including Maggie's, which is a charity close to my heart. We just opened our Maggie Centre in Yorkshire a couple of years ago. And, you know, as a partner at St James's Place, I've been very involved with our own charitable foundation, which raises, you know, millions of pounds every year to primarily help charities that are connected with children, you know, who are disadvantaged in a whole raft of different ways.
That's amazing. And Maggie supports women with breast cancer, doesn't it?
Maggie supports people with cancer.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, it's an incredible charity set up and founded by a lady called Maggie, who sadly passed away. The whole premise behind it is that we build centres in next to oncology units in major hospitals, where people can go and feel safe and supported when they've often had the most terrible news and they don't really know what to do. And they just need, the heart of a Maggie Centre is a kitchen table where you can go and have a cup of tea and just chat to someone, you know, who really gets what you're going through.
That sounds amazing. And your event last year, you raised money for SmartWorks in Leeds. And that's a charity I know a number of our previous winners from the Best Business Women Awards are involved in. And that supports women who are seeking to get into employment.
Yeah, women who often are going back into employment, maybe through something that's happened, maybe a breakdown of a marriage or coming out of a difficult relationship, who need really the confidence to be able to get back into the workplace. And so we provide them with lovely clothes to wear that make them feel fantastic when they walk through the door. We provide them with interviewing skills. And the success rate is really high. So that was a charity that I wanted to support when we had our first event in Leeds, because it's a charity that I've been involved with since it was launched in Leeds, actually. Brilliant.
So this year for She Can Prosper, you've got a couple of events coming up. You're bringing it down to London, which is exciting, in February. And one of the charities that you're supporting this year is one of our previous charity champion, the lovely Lynn Stanier from Their Future Today. So that's amazing. And you've got a topic for the event. So what's the topic going to be for February?
So the topic is pensions. It's not going to be technical for those people who listen to the podcast. When we did our event in November, we had some amazing feedback and we asked our attendees what they would like to hear about, and pensions came really high on the list. And so we're going to talk about everything connected with that hopefully will really interest people to sort of find out more for themselves, really.
Fabulous. And a nice lunch as well at Balthazar Covent Garden. And then Leeds is coming back in March, and that's also going to be pensions as well, because obviously you've got quite a long distance, and you're supporting a sort of new charity for that event, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm supporting a new charity called the Yorkshire Children's Charity, which is aimed at supporting disadvantaged children in Yorkshire. And although I'm not a Yorkshire woman myself, I have lived in Yorkshire longer than I lived in Lancashire. So Yorkshire themes are very, very close to my heart. And again, it's about trying to make a difference, you know, in lives of children who are often incredibly disadvantaged. So I'm really excited about that.
Wow. Well, we've also heard this week that you were selected for the F Entrepreneur Top 100 Also. So this is aimed at women who have got a business, who give back, who support others. So what an accolade to get at the very start of the year. I expect you're really excited about that.
I was absolutely blown away. I mean, you know, we all go back to work on our first day back at the office feeling a bit gloomy in January, don't we? And it was such a lovely thing to find out about. I was absolutely delighted. And I've been blown away by how many incredible women there are, you know, which is something I'm so passionate about. You know, the change that I've seen in my lifetime of working, you know, makes me think that we must be doing something right. which is fantastic.
I think you are. So sponsorship is also something you're quite passionate about. So you sponsor other events, and you've also, sponsored a number of charitable events as well. And so that brought you to our door last year to sponsor the Best Businesswomen Awards for the financial services category. Not the financial services category, sorry, the legal services category. So what did you make of the whole sponsorship process, and what do you think is the kind of the big advantage to being a sponsor of events generally?
Well, I think it's profile raising. I was, the whole event blew me away, actually. And obviously, given that we've all been locked in our little houses for the last almost 2 years, it was amazing to be in a room full of such dynamic, interesting women, and that we were able to recognize their fantastic achievements. I mean, it was a really incredible night. The atmosphere was amazing. I mean, I've never been to an event with so many successful businesswomen in it before. And it was just an incredible evening to celebrate the success of so many women.
Well, that's it. And I think when you're clearly so passionate about female entrepreneurs yourself, and I think it's a good fit for you because it actually ticks a lot of your boxes in terms of showing that support to other women. And you've had that journey, Diane, a long journey in business, and you can share some of that wisdom with them as well. So I know our listeners love a little golden tip, one or two. So people listening today, maybe we can gear that up to more of a financial tip. So is there anything you can share with our listeners?
So I think at this time of the year, I think it's always good to sit down and just check your personal, your business, financial goals, to just make sure that you're not one of those people that just hopes everything will be fine. So, do the work now, do your planning. Obviously, we're coming up to tax year end in April. So if there's, if it's a good time to be looking at whether you can take advantage of some of the tax breaks that we all get. None of us like paying tax, right? Well, there is a way to change that. You can make a pension contribution through your company. You can do an ISA personally. So just don't throw away these amazing allowances that we get, because they are there for all of us to use. And if you don't use it, you lose it.
Exactly. Oh, well, it's been lovely to chat to you today, Diane. If you're listening to the podcast, have a look at She Can Prosper and link up with them and Diane Watson. And good luck for your event at the House of Lords when you will be celebrating your F Entrepreneur selection. So that's really great. And have, a wonderful few months, because you've got so much going on. It's really exciting. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you.
Thank you.